Please, we're going to start the event in about 3 minutes. If I could have all the guests to come to the middle here and have a seat, we'll start in 3 minutes. All right, thank you. We're going to start our event in 1 more minute. If you could have everyone to, fill up the seats over here, right in the middle, that'd be great. Thank you. Gentlemen, how are you guys today? Good. Wet. Okay, I don't see you guys seem dry, so I guess you guys had a good drive here. Um, Thank you so much for coming to our event today. Welcome to Coinstore's 33rd Cryptalk in our own beloved Kuala Lumpur. My name is Faris Hizari. I am part of the business development team here at Coinstore. Uh, I understand that the weather today hasn't been too accommodating. Thank you so much for making your time to come to our event. But I understand for those of you who have been to Token 2049 Dubai, the weather here, the rain here is probably, a walk in the park. So let's get started. We have a lot of keynotes to share with you guys today. First off, I would like to invite Dylan Komarasan, our team lead for Malaysia at Coinstore. Dylan oversees product development and strategic initiatives within the APAC region, guiding Coinstore to expand its reach in Malaysia. in Malaysia and Asia. Under his leadership, Coinstore has been providing localized services and focusing on emerging high-growth markets. Tonight, Dylan will introduce us to Coinstore's amazing products and services. Please join me and give him a round of applause.
Hey guys. All right, I think the setting is a bit formal, which is not the best setting that I would like. But please bear with me, guys. Please cheer up. It's still a night. Feel free to connect with each other. I think everyone is from Web3. Whether you're developers, founders, builders, KOLs, or media partners as well. I think we also have the team from MDEC here tonight as well, I believe. So yeah, please feel free to connect with each other. I won't take too much of your time today. I know most of you here are not the first time attending Cryptalk. This is, I believe, our 5th event in KL here in Asia. Part of our series of Cryptalk as well as CS Connect, which is a bit more of a smaller scale networking event. Cryptalk is a bit more formal. There's keynotes. We have some of our global partners here to present and connect with the local community. But still, regardless, at the end of the day, Web3, as you guys all know, Web3 events are always about networking, about connecting with people, forging new relationships, partnerships. So at the heart of all of our events, we want to keep that ethos right. So I know most of you guys here are familiar with Coinstore, and I believe not everyone here wants to hear from some of our main partners presenting today. We have some major ones. Aethir here today with us, the founder himself. We have CG Community, and we also have a very special MOU signing later. So just a few quick words about Coinstore, right? Which I hope most of you guys are very well aware of, but just to reiterate, a lot of projects, when they're looking at part of their roadmap, at certain stage, they're looking to list a token. But what we want to focus more about from our working relationship with projects is beyond just the token listing itself, right? For us, it's about how do we leverage on our core strength and presence within the key Asian market to assist our projects from across the world, whether they're from Asia or from across, Europe, the America, Middle East, to sort of connect with the Asian community. So we leverage on our local presence. We have a very strong localized presence in each of the key Web3 markets in Asia, where globally, I think they're leading the adoption rate itself. These are India, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, Thailand, and of course, Malaysia itself. So, how do we sort of assist these projects to grow the community, acquire users, connect with local stakeholders that enables them to scale much faster? Of course, from the token side of things as well, we do a lot of strategic campaigns to drive value towards the token itself and to achieve specific objectives that the project is looking at, right? So this is some of our core presence right now. Of course, almost 70% or 7 million registered users are from the key Asian market. But we're also seeing some strong growth with Middle East as well as parts of Africa. One key thing I'll just touch on before I sort of go to the next section, right? This is one of our major things, right? We think Web3 being very remote and very online, we think one key strategy is to really connect with the local community and the partners is on the offline. How do we combine the best of both worlds? Right? For example, the event tonight that we're having here is being live streamed directly to our users, where 7 million registered users that we have can watch it live across our web platform as well as our app. The replay is available as well. So combining the both offline, real world setting with our actual physical attendees, but at the same time also amplifying it online, right? So we do this across all the key cities across Asia, so doing it in the Middle East as well as parts of Europe as well. Depending on when we work with a certain project, which are the key markets that we're looking to tap in. But regardless, every month we're doing across the key cities. So these are some of examples, the global expos where we're also featuring some of our partners as well, providing them a platform to connect with projects and connect attendees, and also our flagship event, which is Cryptalk, and also CS Connect, right? So, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out anyone wearing the Coinstore t-shirt. We have some of our team members here with us right now. and also feel network around, connect with each other. Most importantly, I sort of end with um, on the market, right? How is everyone feeling about the market? Because I've asked this question even on our last event, and that time it was depressing. I hope currently everyone is a bit more optimistic and energetic about it. Would we have an ETF approval for Ethereum by end of this month? Show of hands. What do you guys think? Next, not this month, guys. Wow, a bit pessimistic, yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. I'm gonna pass it to our next speaker, but before that, I think we'll take over first. So please enjoy your night. There's refreshments food as well, and we also have beers available. So if you want beers, please reach out and just get your drinks. All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dylan. Next up, I think Dylan gave the spoiler already. We have a very special guest, a visionary CEO and the co-founder of Aethir. So just a bit of background on Aethir. Aethir focuses on building decentralized enterprise-grade GPU cloud infrastructure for AI and gaming companies, addressing the growing demand for GPU resources. Mark Ryden will share the fascinating journey of Aether and how it all began. Please give your hands and welcome Mark Ryden on the stage.
All right, that's me. Okay, so quickly before we jump in, who here has heard about Aether before? Put up your hand if you've heard about it. All right, a few, good. Who kind of broadly understands the AI industry and kind of how important it is for the global economy? Right, pretty important. Okay, hopefully I can give you a little bit of an insight into what we do at Aether, where we started, what we're building, and also kind of an insight into maybe why that's important and why that's relevant to all of key industries out there like the AI sector. I will just say, unfortunately, at 8 p.m.-ish, I have to jump to another event, but I do have one of my corporate strategy folk here, Savin, who is more than happy to answer any questions you may have about any of this. But let me jump right in. So my name's Mark. I'm one of the co-founders here at Aether. And I thought because it's a little bit more of an intimate setting, I'll give you an understanding of where Aether started, right? Some of my background and how it led to where we are today. So yeah, Mark, co-founder here at Aether. My background's in infrastructure building, right? So I started my career in oil and gas and energy, building big infrastructure projects, often in really remote places, right? Middle of the desert. I spent a year in the middle of the ocean, right? All very exciting. I did that for the first 6 years of my career before getting the entrepreneurial itch and founding my company. The first company was a biotech company. I developed a series of stretchy sensors that had applications and raised a bit of money. At the time, I had kind of two choices in front of me. One was head to the US, maybe one of the startup ecosystems like New York or the Bay Area. And the other was China, right? Head to China and get closer to manufacturing. I chose China in what would be probably one of the most important decisions of my career. I wanted to kind of get as close to factories as possible, operations on these sensors I developed, and China was definitely the best choice. So I moved to Beijing. I raised some more money for that project and worked on it for an additional couple of years before exiting and feeling my way back into infrastructure. I think biotech was a really interesting space for me, but infrastructure has really always been my passion. It was actually at this time that there were some really, really interesting infrastructure jobs happening in China, right? One of the ones I joined, right, with a small bunch of engineers. And this was a team that were tackling the scalability and the performance challenges associated with building out cloud gaming infrastructure, right? So who here knows what cloud gaming is? Has anyone heard of cloud gaming before? Okay, great, few people, right? So cloud gaming is where you take a game and you install it in the cloud, and then you stream the game to the user so that they don't actually need to install the game on their device. Everything that you need to power the game happens in the cloud, and then a game is effectively like an interactive YouTube video, right? Anyone can watch a YouTube video. It doesn't matter whether your computer is really bad or really good. A YouTube video doesn't, it's very easy to run on that computer. Anyway, we were building, scaling cloud gaming networks. And it'll be a little bit more relevant, I hope, to you later on. But another way to look at cloud gaming is actually as high performance GPU cloud, right? The delivery of GPU resources via the cloud, particularly in very low latency format. And this was something that myself and my early team were looking at. And we realized that maybe there was a way to address some of these challenges if we looked at deploying this type of infrastructure in a decentralized way, right? There wasn't necessarily a term, there wasn't DePIN as a term at the time, right? But decentralized infrastructure was very much a thing. I think we're all really familiar with that. Bitcoin, right, is mined on a decentralized infrastructure, right? It's a decentralized compute network. And we thought this was an interesting way to address these challenges. Let's work on it. So we did for about 6 months, realized we had something interesting, and that was really the birth of Aether. So we're a very different company today than we were then, but probably the best way to understand the evolution over the last kind of couple of years is to look at the problem that we're addressing, right? You've probably heard a number of times before, right? That there is a massive enterprise-grade GPU shortage, right? It's becoming increasingly difficult for startups and small to medium-sized enterprises to get access to these critical resources that are necessary for growth in, the gaming and in particular the AI sector, right? Elon Musk has come out and said that GPUs are harder to buy than drugs, right? You've seen Mark Zuckerberg. You maybe have seen Mark Zuckerberg come out and purchase just under $11 billion worth of NVIDIA GPUs in one big hit just a few months ago. So enterprise GPU shortage is a critical issue affecting the growth of some key segments of the market. So how do we look at this problem in particular, right? We look at it in 4 distinct ways, right? The first is what we call buy pressure, right? So there's a huge amount of buy pressure in this market, right? The biggest tech companies in the world are purchasing huge amounts of this compute. They have an almost insatiable appetite, right? And they're buying, largely through these more traditional channels like the hyperscalers, right? AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure. And as a result, traditional channels are becoming increasingly saturated and difficult to use for small to medium sized enterprises, and right, meaning that traditional markets for this compute are getting more difficult to utilize. Secondly, of course, GPUs are a physical thing. NVIDIA uses these GPUs today, but NVIDIA uses so here. Resource limitations as manufacturers. Now the amount of GPUs, the amount of chips they can produce, right, not enough to meet global demand. Third, and this is where we get a little bit into the AI side, and that is LLM complexity. Has anyone heard the term LLM before? Right? It stands for large language model, right? So when you hear about ChatGPT 3 or ChatGPT 4, right, or Claude or Llama 3, these are all names for effectively different brands of large language models. When you hear AI that does things and you ask it questions and it helps you, right, that's a large language model, right? It's been trained on a large amount of data, and then it becomes useful effectively as it gains in complexity. But what's interesting here is that actually the growth rate of these LLMs is proving to be exponential, right? So LLMs today, or these AI models, are exponentially more complex and exponentially more expensive to train than they were just one iteration before, right? So if you look at ChatGPT 2, for example, it was trained on, I think it was 10 billion tokens, right? This is not a crypto token. This is an AI token that represents a measure of essentially complexity, right? It was trained on 10 billion tokens. 2 years later, ChatGPT 3 was trained on 410 billion tokens, right? So an exponential increase in LLM complexity, right? But during that time period, we only had linear chipset advancement, right? Chipsets did not improve exponentially within the same period. So we have this widening gap between being able to power these more complex, more effective LLM models and the amount of compute that we produce as a society, as a globe. And then finally, and maybe most relevant to Aether, is the inefficiency of the global GPU ecosystem, right? If you look at GPUs across data centers in the US, for example, right, they often sit at between only a 15 and 18% utilization rate. They're hugely underutilized. Often over 80% of these resources sit idle at any one period of time, right? So we looked at this problem and we thought if we had the ability to kind of aggregate or collect all those GPUs and resurface them, that's a meaningful amount of supply that we could redistribute to the market. So that's what we've built, right? So we built a decentralized, enterprise-grade cloud, GPU cloud infrastructure for gaming and AI companies. And again, I'll just reiterate, GPUs are essentially the engine that powers AI, right? You can't have AI without GPUs. GPUs are essential for training and also running of AI. So anytime you hear about AI or AI advancements or AI operations, it's all happening on the back of GPUs, right? So at Aether, we aggregate these GPUs, right? We aggregate GPUs from tech companies, from enterprises, from data centers, from crypto mining organizations, and we connect them to our infrastructure and we surface them so that they can be exposed to this global compute demand ecosystem. So what does that actually look like? Well, if you've ever been on the buy side of the compute ecosystem, if you've ever had to buy compute for your business or for a side project or a hobby, right? This will be a somewhat familiar ecosystem for you, right? You enter in and you look at all of the different GPUs. Where are they? What capacity are they? Model are they, right? You click the one you want, whether it's 1 or 10 or 100, right? And you make that purchase. The only difference between our ecosystem and what you'd be familiar with in Web 2 is that you'll need to purchase the ATH token, right? The ATH token is what you use to buy that compute. If you're providing compute to the ecosystem, if you happen to be someone that owns an enterprise-grade GPU, or if you're a company that owns a large number of enterprise-grade GPUs, you can contribute them to the network. That's a very simple process. You connect to our backend, you integrate your API to our network, and you can actually have your equipment up and running within our ecosystem in under 15 minutes, right? Again, the only difference between this and a Web 2 ecosystem is to turn your compute live within our network, you'll have to stake ATH tokens, right? As a retail investor, what's the interest, right? Why do we care about ATH token? For me, obviously separate even to all the work that we're doing and the infrastructure that we're building, right? I think that it's incredibly difficult for the average person to get exposure, direct exposure to AI infrastructure, right? You can't buy AWS stock, right? You have to buy Amazon stock, and then you're diluted by all of the rest of Amazon's products to expose to your exposure to AWS is diluted through all of the rest of Amazon's portfolio, right? You can't buy Google Cloud stock. You can only buy Google stock. You can't buy Microsoft Azure stock. You can only buy kind of Microsoft, right? You can't actually go to the stock market and get direct exposure to AI infrastructure. You're most often diluted through broader portfolios. And the same goes for large private AI companies like OpenAI or Anthropic, right? Incredible, I think OpenAI is maybe a $30 billion private company, right? It's VC only access at the moment. So it's really, really difficult for people to get exposure. And that's what I love about ATH token, right? It's a direct representation of physical infrastructure powering the AI revolution, right? And I think that's a massive value add. So the question that we get asked the most, I think, and maybe one of the questions that's most relevant to you guys here is, what makes Aether different, right? I talk a lot about enterprise, right? What does that mean, and how is that represented as a point of difference, right? I think the best way to understand it is to look at how deep-in projects usually start, right? So the most common way that a deep-in project would kick off, right, is by aggregating consumer hardware, right? You take your token, you go to your your community and you say, hey, I will give you some tokens if you contribute your hardware to my network. You have a desktop, right? You have a computer that sits on your desk. You're not using it 100% of the time, right? How about I'll give you some tokens if you give it to me 70% of the time, right? And this is a really quick way to onboard 5,000, 10,000 plus GPUs into your network, right? Also, it's a fantastic way to build community, right? Because you've all of a sudden got 5 to 10,000 hyper committed community members that are very, very keen on seeing your project succeed because they get paid in tokens for contributing their hardware to your network, right? The challenge, however, here is that it's really, really difficult to sell this type of compute, right? Because when you go to a big enterprise customer, right, and you tell them, hey, I've got this GPU cloud network built on the back of consumer GPUs, they're going to ask you a pretty simple question. They're going to say, how can you guarantee that that compute isn't just going to get turned off at night? How can you guarantee that this gamer, right, isn't just going to turn their GPU off, turn their computer off when they go to bed, right? Or how can you guarantee that the GPUs in this household, right, won't have their bandwidth throttled because because the family watches Netflix at night, right? So it's really difficult and in my opinion, essentially impossible, right? To build an enterprise grade GPU compute ecosystem on the back of consumer equipment. You can't meet the performance and the quality and uptime requirements of the big enterprise customers, right? And that's a key issue that I think is very, very difficult for companies to solve that are building on the back of consumer grade infra. That's where Aether is very different, right? We realized from day one that enterprise customers were who we wanted to serve, right? Enterprise customers were our end goal. So from day one, we knew we had to aggregate enterprise GPUs and enterprise GPUs only, right? So today, 100% of Aether's infrastructure is enterprise grade, right? We have no consumer GPUs contributing to every GPU is an enterprise GPU model sitting in a data center or contributed through enterprise grade network infrastructure. And that's put us in a really, really good position, right? It means that 100% of the infrastructure that we have within our network, right, matches the demand side of the biggest compute buyers in the world. And that's meant that we're now able to serve and provide compute for the biggest tech companies on the planet. So what are our compute products, right? So we have 3 primary compute products at the moment. On the top left is probably our most famous. That's our AI compute product. This is built on the back of the biggest H100 infrastructure stack in Web3. When we talk about GPUs and we talk about their relevance to the AI sector, there is one chip, right, that kind of stands above all others, right? It's NVIDIA's flagship model. Incredibly expensive, incredibly difficult to get access to. These are called H100s, right? You may have also seen NVIDIA just announced the H200. This is their latest release. It's not in production, sorry, it's not in distribution yet, right? But it will be in the coming kind of year. But H100s are the flagship AI model, right? We have the biggest collection of that infrastructure in Web3. I think we have between 20 and 30 times more than the nearest competitor in the space. We actually have, I think, around 5,000 H100s contributed to Aether's ecosystem. And we just actually deployed over 1,000 more into IO.net. A lot of people look at IO.net as a competitor to Aether. We see them as more of a partner. We focus on enterprise compute. That's an area that they're not very well built out for. So we're actually providing them with all of their enterprise compute. So 1,000 H100 GPUs inside IO.net are actually Aether's GPUs. We have, of course, our game industry compute. From the origin story I gave about Aether, we're still very connected, very relevant to the gaming sector. We provide mobile cloud gaming, PC cloud gaming, and also a really innovative cloud publishing arm. We have our virtual compute stack, our virtualized compute stack, I should say, which is kind of our corporate stack. We have big companies like China Mobile scaling over 5 million users worth of capacity across our virtual compute infrastructure. And then we also have a growing arm of AI inferencing workloads. And I'll talk a little bit about that and the Aether Edge product at the end of this talk. So some recent highlights. If you weren't aware, Aether just concluded the biggest node sale in Web3 history, right? So we raised just over 42,000 ETH. I think at current ETH prices, that's a bit closer to $150 million raised. We brought on just under 72,000 node operators within our ecosystem. So 72,000, super committed individuals who'll be running nodes within our network. Did anyone here buy an Aether node? Hey, all right, good stuff. All right, get some more nodes here. We have a massive community, just over 1 million users now across all the different kind of social media avenues within our network. Of course, we have some of the biggest tech companies and enterprise clients in the world. We have the world's biggest gaming company. We have the world's biggest telecommunication company with China Mobile. We actually also just announced the world's largest large language model training contract happening on the back of decentralized infrastructure. I can't yet announce the actual name of the company. That'll come out in a public release soon, but very, very exciting that we're seeing big LLM training releases happening on DeepIn. We have closer to 100 employees now. Sarvan is, of course, one of them. Feel free to ask him lots of questions. With 50 co-located engineers in our Engineer Center of Excellence. We have our partnership with NVIDIA, which continues to be incredibly valuable. Of course, they provide us and our infrastructure with GPUs. And then, we have 42,000 of those GPUs, 100% of them enterprise grade across 20 different countries worldwide. This here is the Aether Edge. So this public release actually opens up tomorrow, right? So the Aether Edge is a physical mining device. It's a box about kind of this big, right, that you can purchase that sits in your, right? It's totally passive. You plug it in, it connects to your network, and it will operate as a node within Aether's ecosystem, right? We actually partnered with Qualcomm, the semiconductor company, and inside that box is their latest AI chipset, right? And effectively what this will do is it'll open up a node within Aether's ecosystem, right? And we will send AI workloads. We will send rendering workloads. We will use that node infrastructure to do price tasks, right? And anyone that owns one of those nodes, of course, will be rewarded for conducting that work, right? So this is, again, our attempt at pushing the infrastructure to its edge, right? Getting that compute happening as close to the user as possible, right? And making as much of an advancement in the space as we possibly can. So this is really, really cool. Public sale will actually go live for this tomorrow. So you can check that out on the Aether socials or Aether Edge at Twitter. And yeah, I just want to say thank you very much, everyone, for having me. It's been a pleasure. I hope you understand a little bit more about what we do at Aether. Enjoyed talking with you, and yeah, feel free to ask myself or Sarvan any questions. But thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Mark. We'll be having a quick short break. Refreshments are right over there, so please feel free to help yourself. We'll come back and continue on at 8:20 later. All right? Thank you. Hello, everyone. How is the food? Everyone's full? Seems like all the food has been, finished. So I assume you guys had a good dinner. um, so we're going to continue on our event. And I would like to invite our next speaker, Ricky Lee, the senior user representative of CoinGalaxy community. Ricky leads the community with a focus on high quality data analysis a focus on high quality data analysis and ecosystem analytics. Members make informed investment decisions in the volatile crypto market. CoinGalaxy community offers guidance on project selection, trading tools, and fraud prevention, and has successfully managed over 500 token projects. Please join me in welcoming Ricky to the stage.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Ricky. Thank you guys very much, and also I would like to extend my appreciation to Coinstore, okay, for this Cryptalk. To say thank you for them to give me an opportunity to start and come here to start sharing whatever community that I've actually founded few years ago. All right, I actually work closely with the community. The community name is actually CoinGalaxy, if you can see it from there. All right, so before I move into what our community is actually doing or what they are providing, giving a benefit to the solution to the society, I actually would like to share with you guys a little bit about myself. I actually graduated at 2010, all right, 17 years old after SPM, all right. When I start to work myself every single day, and then I actually save enough money for me to actually start investing in Forex, because during that time, Forex was a very, very, a very, very hot topic during that year. And unfortunately, I've been investing blindly, where people says that the blind leads the blind. All right. I do not know what to buy. I do not know what kind of currency will go up. And I do not actually have the informations that equip myself better or well enough to start making profit for myself in my own investment. So during 2010, I actually invested about 13,000 USD in Forex, all right? And I made a very, very bad loss, and it was very, very critical. So right after this 2010, I've been stopping for myself from start investing in all these investments, even though in crypto, also Forex. But then, for the past few years, I've been following CoinGalaxy as a community, all right, where they are actually a pool of people, where they have data analysis, all right, we have technical teams also, whatever they're actually doing behind is actually work very closely with most of the projects that's available in the exchanges, all right. As far as I remember, the last 3 years, the last 2 years was Shiba Inu coin. They actually work very closely with Shiba Inu coin, and what they do is that we or the community will actually provide informations out for us to see that what kind of the price rate, all right, when you are supposed to go in and when you are supposed to go out. So what I would like to share is that information is very, very important. Do you agree about that? Information is knowledge, and knowledge is power. All right, do we agree? So what CG is actually, I've been talking and I forget to slide down from this thing. Yeah, so, all right, as you can see, we can't deny that crypto coins, all right, or all this intellectual property has been in our society or in our life. Deny it or not, we cannot deny that the existence of it actually gives a very, very big impact to most of the industry around the world right now. So for the past 10 years, we can see that you can see actually cryptocurrency market price is actually growing up, all right, very steadily, big exponentially within these 10 years. And we also know that for the past months, do we know that Bitcoin have a halving that came for last month during, I think it's about 19th of April. So what they are expecting is actually that when we have a halving on a Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is the mother of all the coins that actually came up right after them, they will pull along with all the other coins that the prices to go up, all right? And then we can see that there is a what we call volatility. We do have a bullish and bearish. Do you know that what is a bullish and bearish in this what in this crypto market terms. Bullish means that when the price is going down, there's a bullish trend, and when bearish trend, when bullish trend is where the price market is going up. So what CG is actually doing is that they actually work very closely with some of the token inside, and then they have most of the information, knowing what kind of a project they're actually launching, and then they will give us the informations to know when to go into the market and when to come out from the market itself. As you can see, I will only highlight on Shiba Inu coin because it's the growth is actually crazy, exponentially very high. About nine. This is about 9.6 million times of what the price is actually came on. So I was one of the user in this community where they actually given out the information for me to actually invest properly. So now I'm equipped with the tools of informations. So now that I know that the information is very important in investing this and that, so what CG provided is the most critical and the most important thing is the information of what is coming, and we do have to create awareness around what crypto world is actually working around. All right. Now, as I said that the Bitcoin actually came from halving already, and there is a surge expecting soon in the near future. And then what they do is that, as you can see that it says, like most of the people who actually goes into the market and start investing, like me, few years ago without information, I'm not even sure why I am profiting and or why am I losing in my investment itself. All right, I only trust on the guts. Maybe listen to some friend. Hey, like the forex thing, Brexit wanna exit. When Brexit exit, I heard my friend say that we should invest, and I invest, and I lost a 13,000 USD of money in this investment. So what here says that they will give us information, they will provide us the information that we are able to use it, utilize it, benefit from the platform itself to start making profit for ourselves. As you can see that there is a project selection. We will not, the community doesn't simply just find any coin that we can. All right. And I'm just asking you to, hey, start investing this. Hey, start investing this. No, they actually make a deep studies, make strategic calculations, and we have a data analysis team where they will evaluate the product itself, and then only they will release the information itself to let us know what kind of token, all right, or what kind of coin we should invest in, what kind of at what rate, what points, what date we should invest in, and when we should go out from itself. Yeah. So of course, with the exchange selection, we not only work together alongside with Coinstore. All right, we have Maxi, all right, we have 4B, and some of the coin that is available from different exchanges, they will show it in the platform itself. They will show it in the website itself. So all we need to do is follow. And now, other than that, of course, it says that fraud prevention because exchanges do need our KYC. So there are no, we have a very little risk in having a fraud case, of course. And lastly, we have authorization from I actually have authorization for the CoinGalaxy securities and everything. So I would like to let you guys know that what the company is actually about. As you can see that we CoinGalaxy established during 2020. Now, what we do is that we have information distribution, which is what I'm explaining since the beginning of my speech here. What we do is that they want to create more awareness around this blockchain trend, blockchain technologies that's been evolving around our life now. All right, like it or not, it's here already. Want to accept it or not, it is here already. The time is now. So the evolution of this cryptocurrency, they only used to be like BTC. For the past 10 years, the price is not good. And then when they start saying, hey, invest in us, follow us, nobody bats an eye. And after 10 years, look at the price now. So what we want to do is that we want to create more awareness, giving more chances to more people, all right, and let them know that what kind of token we should be investing ourselves in, or what kind of project we should get ourselves into. Other than that, we work very closely, like I said, we work very closely together with different projects, different token of different company. As far as I'm concerned, for the past few years, I'm not going to say how much I earn a lot or not, but I am quite financially stable right now. So Not to say that, not to brag that I'm very, very rich or not. No. I'm just saying that with the right information in our hand, with what we have and what we can learn from the internet, and then from what we can get it benefit from the platform itself, from the website itself, of its information. Because in investment, information is very, very important. Yeah. I'm not sure if you guys are aware or not. Whenever there's a news about something, whoever is having war with whoever, something happens in their economy. So this all leads to changes in the which will give an impact, all right, to all the volatility within the market. Other than that, I would like to let you guys know that this is the vision and mission. All right, we want to create as much awareness as possible, as much big data as we can, as much user that we can actually collect, so that the bigger the community, the better we do, because uniformity is important. All right, collectively, everybody who is actually being a member in the community, right, is actually is served very, very well for the company, because that we can from there start, we can create more information, we can get more information out of the markets. Now I'm not going to say about this, and let's go about this. So here says that what we do is that we're pulling all the resources that we can, and that's why we are a community. All right, there is a team of data analysts. They have a team of people who actually start studying, making research of what is actually happening around the crypto coin world, and then what will impact this and what will impact that, and that is where you can get the information, and that is where you are able to invest better. All right. What you can do is that what we can provide is actually a transparency for everybody. The tips itself or the information that is given out itself is actually transparent. As long as you are a member, you are entitled to receive the information. Everybody sees the same thing. All right. Fairness. Nobody is treated non-equally. Everybody is treated equally. Whatever you get is whatever I get. It doesn't matter if I'm a senior representative, user representative. I've been together with them for if I'm not wrong, about 4 years plus already. It doesn't matter who I am, whatever I'm getting or whatever you are starting today, we are getting the same information. It's just that, do we know how to benefit from the information that we get? So lastly, I would like to let you guys know that this is the partnership. All right, we have, of course, with Coinstore today. We are in the Cryptalk work. Right. So in this hall itself, we do have to work together with L Bank, Maxi, and lastly we have Gate.io and also Hobby. I'm pretty sure that whoever is here, if you do not know what exchanger is, I do understand that we have at least basic knowledge about how the crypto coin works. So don't be like me 10 years ago without information, simply invest in whatever my life saving is during that time, and make a loss just from hearing, hey, this is a good investment. No, this is a very bad thing. What we want to do is that information is knowledge, and knowledge is power. When you have power to turn around your financial situation itself, it doesn't matter how big it is or how good it is, as long as you're benefiting from the information, and as long as your life is getting better, I do believe that good choices makes your time worth. All right. Thank you very much, guys, for having me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ricky, for your insights and for sharing about CoinGalaxy. And now, for a very special moment, we have the MOU signing between Coinstore and BBS Trust. I would like to first invite Dr. Wong, the Principal Officer of BBS Trust, to give a remark before we proceed with the signing. Please give a hand to Dr. Wong.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Wanzhen and Principal Officer for BBS Trust. I didn't actually really prepare my speech. I just get to know that I need to give a speech in I mean, in 5:30 like that. So I will just give a very brief introductions about my company. So BBS Trust is a Labuan Trust company under the supervisions authorities of Labuan Financial Service Authority. So our core business including business expansions, global business expansions, business redomiciling, and also this financial license applications. Of course, mainly from Labuan. So moving forwards to this, the trends of the digital finance, our company also venture into this business whereby we help our clients to transform or restructure their business from traditional finance to digital finance. So we actually help our clients to get this digital license since 2018, and then we managed to get a few license from authority from Labuan Financial Service Authority regarding this crypto license or digital finance license. And then we also help our clients to do this asset tokenizations currently, very hot services recently, and also this security token offering, whether it is some private offering or public offerings. So I think yeah, anything else I left out? All right. So yeah, this is roughly what my company doing. And I think we are also the listing sponsor for two digital exchange in Labuan. So today it is my pleasure to be appointed as a listing sponsor by Coinstore. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wong. I would like to now invite our Associate Director, Manfred, from Coinstore on behalf of Coinstore and as well as BBS Trust for the MOU signing. Thank you, Dr. Wong. Thank you, BBS Trust. Now it's time for networking and discussions. This is your chance to connect with your fellow attendees, guests. We have the whole floor open until 10 p.m. If you guys want some more drinks, I believe there's more drinks over there, more beers. Please help yourself, and we'll be open till 10. So thank you so much. Good night.